Yes, good morning to everybody. I decided to do this diary of the my period in quarantine here in Saigon, just to share with you guys, with friends, or whoever needs the experience. So you will be, ready, and you will know more details to how to deal with this thing. So, as you know, Vietnam for now is still closed to the community, and only specific groups of people are allowed to come inside the country. These specific groups regarding diplomats, people with passports, with diplomat passports, or people with uh, experts or skillful that the country need. They come back, for some specific reasons, for job or business. But anyhow, you need to go through a lot of documents, a lot of approvals, and I was helped in this process by the team of my office, and it's quite long. We started. I think we started in early August, even before my trip to Europe, and it regards a lot of approvals from the immigration department and different bureaus, and it takes time. So if you plan to travel out from the country, if you're already in the country and you plan to travel out for business or to meet your family or to visit your home country, I strongly suggest you to start all this process ahead of time, because it will take time. Plus, you have to consider that for now, up today, that is September 20, the Vietnamese government require uh, anyhow 2 weeks period of quarantine when you come back to the country. So you have to consider also these 2 additional weeks, plus maybe your country, your home country, or the country that you are going to visit. Also, they require you some specific periods of quarantine. This depends about the country you are visiting. So in my case, since I went back to France and it was middle of August, it was no request any quarantine there. So you have to think about also the time that you need to lock. So after you go through all the documents that you are need to send to the government and give the approvals, you need then the last thing very important is the COVID test. Also here in the about the COVID test is not very clear which is the time demanded by the government, by the Vietnamese government, by the immigration health department that you need to submit to them before flying. There are, some people say is valid, and is valid within a period of time that is a maximum to 7 days before the departure, or 7 days before the arriving. So also there it was not very clear. Other people say is 3 days ahead the day of the departure. So it's not very clear. In fact, in my case, uh, I fail. I failed their demands because I did a test on September 12th, based on the request of Qatar Airways, that asked me to present the COVID test to them, to submit to them the COVID test by 15 September, since they have to submit it to the CAAV, to the civil aviation, to get the approval for me to board by 15 September. You have to think that the COVID test, first, the labs, the clinics in Europe, in specific in this moment in France, they are very, very busy. They are over busy because the pandemic, and they have 1,000 cases every day. So they give priority to other people that has much more urgency than cases like myself, that they need the test just for traveling. And so you have to think about first book ahead of time, like 1 week or even 2 weeks before the COVID slot space at the clinic near your place. And then after that, you need to consider that the test 8 to 72 hours. This was the average time that the lab that I contacted they gave me. And then that this is not that is super sure that they will give in this time, in this period of time, like 2 or 3 days, because then they have other cases, urgencies, or last minute issues. Like in my case, I couldn't get in the limit of the time that they promised me, since they broke one of the machines for test, and they say me they had like 800 cases per day. So it depends, and maybe in your country or your city, there are some specific clinics that they can give you the COVID test certificate by 24 hours. They call like an express test, but you have to check. So you have to consider all these times, because you need to get the COVID test certificate with a negative result by the day that the fly airlines, the airline company ask you. So you need this document to submit on time, ahead of time, and then they will submit to the CAV, and then they will wait the result. In my specific case, I failed three things. First, I was out of the time because I tested on 12 September based on the Qatar instructions to get the COVID certificate by 15. So first, I failed to get the certificate by 15, and I got from the clinic on 16. So one, it was failed. Second, I landed in Ho Chi Minh on 20 September. So it was also out a day from the law that requests 7 days to the landing, not to departure. And the third thing is that at the last minute, they asked me to test it, and again the COVID like a day before departing. That was that was September 18. And so I failed three things, but luckily Qatar insisted with the CAAV, and then based maybe on the documents, based on the fact that I had already two negative tests in a month, the CAAV approved my departure. But this was out of my expectation, because I was thinking already that I was not allowed to catch the flight on Friday, and most probably I had to move it to next week. So my strongly recommendation is to check with your mm, country, or the city where you are going to stay, their times, the time to test the COVID, because that was the major issue for the papers, for the documents that precede, that are before this last step. It should be just quite easy if you are, like in my case, somebody that is already living in Vietnam, and maybe has already a temporary card, resident card, or a working visa, working permit. It should be easier, because they understand that you need to come back in Vietnam for your job, for your business. So it should be relatively easy to get all the approvals from the government, but it will take time. So you should take in consideration that. So I land last night in Ho Chi Minh City, and it was like 1 a.m. And the process was very smooth after that. You have first the first gate, the first people that you meet after landing are these health government people that ask you first, of course, the passport, and second, they ask you if you feel already the online application with that they give you the link at the beginning of the trip, that you need to go online and declare all the details about where you come from, which cities or country you have been in the previous 20 days, and where are you going to stay, all these details. And I suggest also to avoid wasting time at the airport, to do it before the flight, since it's online and you do one time and then it saves, it generates a QR code that they will just read with a scanner at the airport, so it will be fast. And then after that, they ask you if you had the visa. In case you have already, it's done. Basically, it's done. And my flight, we were 6 people, I count. So at the airport, we were just us, and the process of immigration was super smooth, super easy. They asked me after this first check, then they move us to the immigration. The officer asked me the passport, visa, and the permit. The permit is one of the papers that you have to do before. So is in the set of documents that you need to work ahead, and then is an authorization. They asked me to see. I show was everything fine, so they move out. I could come inside the country. They move out at the exit, and then there I waited for the transportation to the hotel. I waited maybe 30, 40 minutes, was very fast. And then a driver, uh, then they allow me to get in a vehicle, a bus, specifically it was like a bus, and they move me to the hotel where I'm here now in my room. The hotel is the Ibis, the Ibis near the airport, and everything was smooth. So now I'm here. This is my day one. I will stay here for the next 2 weeks. So I want to share with you my experience, and try to give you much more advices as I can, since I'm living, this experience, and then I can give you, comments, advices, or informations, or suggestions if you need. So far, everything is okay. Is Of course, when you move in the room, you are alone. If this is a floor, is the fifth floor, is allocated only for people like me that they need to quarantine. So basically, you have no service at room. The food they will bring. They will leave 3 meals a day outside the room. There is a chair. Every room has a chair outside where they will leave the food or anything that you need. But there is no service room, so you have to take care of your things, and you are not allowed to send out anything from the room to outside. You are allowed to get in, like food or coffee or something if you need, but it's not allowed that people that is inside the quarantine floor to send out anything. Of course, you cannot meet anybody. The only people that you will meet daily are the the health government doctors, or inspectors that they come twice a day to check your temperature in the morning, in the afternoon, and then they will test you 4 times. They will take the biology um, samples for test, for COVID test. They say me it will be 4 times during the period. Today, this morning, they did the first one, so I suppose that I still need to go under another 3 tests. After that, at the end of the 2 weeks period, if the fourth test will be negative, I will be released, and they will give me like a certificate that I'm COVID free, so I will be allowed to go out. So for now, is everything good? I feel the room is a bit small, so I don't know how will be the full period inside here. since you cannot even open the window. So I feel that it's like missing our fresh air inside the room. I don't know what I will do, but for now it's okay. And so, we will talk again later. If you have comments or some requests, just write me down in the notes in the comments. So I will try to answer you guys. Thank you. Stay safe.